Mike Barrelak here to entertain you with the help of Peter Gabriel. If looks could kill, they probably will in games without frontiers and war with crocodile tears. Yep, that's what modern extreme feminism has become. Games without frontiers and war with crocodile tears. Please don't up you now. So, everything, everything's fine now. It turns out the police officer that came to my house, I thought I recognized him. He actually comes to the store I work at part-time. But, yeah, I called my job and let them know that my father threatened to call over there, make harassing calls to try to get me fired, and they understood, and they said, matter of fact, the boss was like, "You want to come to work tomorrow?" Like, yeah, yeah, I want to work. Like, giving me the option, I guess, because if I didn't want to work because of this situation. No, I'm not afraid of my father. I just don't want to have to deal with him. I don't want to have to deal with the stress that comes with from being around him because he's so mentally feeble. But I wanted to make another video, little more positive, anyways. Talking about what I'm doing here on my day off. Now, your opinion of me matters not if you're human. Unless you're curing cancer or something, your opinion matters not. So, what I was doing, I am still going through boxes of stuff, things I've accumulated over the years, especially over this move. There was a time I had not one, not two, but three. I was paying for 3 storage facilities. Now, granted, yeah, I was storing a car, but there's video about that on my channel. When I sold my 62, my first car, 62 Chevy to my cousin. But anyways, but there was a time I had 3 storage facilities. I'm happy to say I don't have that anymore. I just have a shed now in the back of my house where I have the last little bit of stuff, but I still have boxes and boxes to go through. And as I'm going through these boxes, I'm also finding notes of stuff I jotted down on a piece of paper that I intended to make videos for my YouTube channel, including the note you just heard. Changing the lyrics a little bit of the Peter Gabriel song to make it more in tune with modern extreme feminism. Yeah, that's what it's become. Games without frontiers and war with crocodile tears. That's modern feminism in a nutshell. And I came across all these like notes. It's just stuff that I jot down of stuff I wanted to cover on my YouTube channel. So now I'm just going to go through some of them and talking about them, make a little video talking about them here. This was something somebody told me. Some of this stuff goes back years. I don't even remember who it was who said this to me, but this person said, socialism and the release of personal freedoms to a governmental body is just evidence of Christianity's failure to control the masses. That's kind of first of all, that's kind of an oxymoron statement. It's not the goal of Christianity to control the masses. If that's what you think, then you are not. You have no idea what real Christianity is about. If you honestly think that the goal of Christianity is to control the masses, you don't know the first thing about Christianity. And here's another note jotted down on a piece of paper that obviously used to be for those insoles. I'd get paper, scrap of paper to me. But anyways, I wrote my theory. Late 1800s, early 1900s, human ingenuity geared towards an easier life overall. Human collectiveness, laziness now runs amok. Yeah, that's where it led to the holy union between corporatism and feminism. Yeah, I mean, ingenuity is great, but it seemed, yeah, to a degree, I think it was. I wrote this stuff down so long ago, so obviously I know my opinion might all be altered a little bit now. But yeah, I'd say that in the past there was so much emphasis of making life easy, especially in the 1950s, that now it's like the beings are so bored with themselves they got nothing to do. And this is what has made room why feminism is running such amok in our society. Here's another note. Flunk you. Democratic Party, I wrote. Oh, this was a response to junk mail I was getting from the Democratic Party years ago. I thought, you already stole enough of my life. No more. Flunk you. Yeah, that was probably something I wanted to say on a video back when I first started this channel. Okay, remember the blame game. Oh yeah, the blame game is the lifeblood of modern feminism. Yep, the victimhood mentality to feed the leftist agenda. Yep, I still believe that. Yep. The blame game is the lifeblood of modern feminism. There is a God. God is a woman, and boy does God hate women. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to evolution, women have gotten the short end of the stick. I mean, and feminism lied to them. They think they can just play the field while they're young, and then the kind of man they dream of when they're in their 30s and 40s will wife them up. Not happening. Not anymore. I'd rather work on myself, thank you very much. Yeah, but that was an idea I just felt I had to write down years ago, and there it is. Yeah, there is a God. God's a woman, and boy, does God hate women. You gotta wonder. Oh, God. High-value male. Mutual hookups with high-value females. A high-value male able to project positive, progressive masculine leadership in the relationship, therefore making it easier for the female, the high-value female, to maintain more of her femininity as she ages. Yes, I still believe that. Yep. If you are a young woman and you hook up with a good man while you're young, that good man will put you in a position where you can focus on maintaining your femininity much longer in life. That's why all these feminists turn into guys so fast. It's gross. It is gross. The way these young women, they're, in their 20s, and God, they look like men. They look like, yuck. Gross. Okay, I don't know if this was an idea I got listening to George Carlin, because I wrote the name George down. There's this unbalance between organization and competition. There's a catastrophe, so we go back to organization for a day or so, and then we go right back to competition. My idea on this has changed a little bit. I used to see competition as the devil when I was much more blue-pilled. I don't see a healthy competition as the devil anymore. I think to a degree it is natural as a guy to want to compete. It's kind of the motivation for like working on yourself, bettering yourself for the sake of yourself. Okay, another thing I felt compelled to write down, another idea I thought up years ago. Okay, because human beings are so limited physically, mentally, and spiritually, when I read this earlier, I added without God, which is true, they have made this world limited. The song Blessed Are the Beast and the Children comes to mind. This next one's kind of long. I wrote, In the event God answers my human hopes and prayers, I need to make sure I am doing my part. This is, for me, the driving force why I ride my bike, want to get back into my strength training, even in the aftermath of my car accident. Yeah, I was in a car accident years ago. Whether or not I succeed is out of my hands. I only know I have to try. The fact that I am sharing this on a public platform is testament to my personal faith. Touche, number 2. But it has been my life experience that human beings are a bitter bunch. I blame the feminist narrative and agenda. That's something I used to say a lot on my channel. Agenda. Human beings are so at the ready to sabotage or exploit a person who is succeeding at something. That brings them personal joy. Yeah, that's a sad reality to human nature. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people are like that. Because of the laws in place in our society, do not argue with a female. Walk away. Now, boy, it's from wise words I wrote years ago on a piece of paper. Huh? Do not argue with a female. Just walk away. That will, quote, bug a female more than you as a man will ever know. Oh, it must have been. Then I put in parentheses, I know this from experience. It probably was a reference to past relationships. She can tell a judge, a woman can tell a judge, I had my period, and because of modern feminism, this is an acceptable explanation. Oh, maybe that's the case. Maybe it isn't. I don't know, but. Okay, here's another short note. Just going to jot it down, probably in the hustle bustle of one day. If I work 8 hours and then go home and... If working 8 hours and then going home and drinking, smoking, using drugs, talking smack about other people and how great you are, if this is the embodiment of the American dream... You can keep it. It's not my American dream, but I guess for some people it's enough. Go home from work as long as I can drink, smoke, and do what the kids call a wacky tobacco. That wacky tobacco the kids and the hippies can't get enough of. If that's your definition of the embodiment of the American dream, to each his own. I want more. Now, what's this? Okay. Oh, okay. I jotted down a note about guns. Gun knowledge. And 22 is better than a 45 for in-house. If, God forbid, you must use it, it won't go through the perpetrator and hit the wall, a pet, your kid, etc., etc. And then I must have took the time to update this note because I must have inquired with somebody at work or something. The problem is it won't kill the perpetrator, and then they can sue you because of how effed up the laws are right now. Yeah, so it's a slippery slope. You get that 22 and you think it's better because it won't do as much damage, but then you run the risk of the perpetrator, the guy who was breaking into your house at 3 a.m., living and then suing you because of how messed up the... Yeah, it's a slippery slope, isn't it? And as I'm going through all these boxes of stuff, I'm coming across a lot of things that I've collected over the years, including an old war comic from 1959. U.S. Air Force. Yeah. Old comics represent the right way to fight a war. Get in, get it done, get out, and get home. Vietnam was the start of the way we conduct war, kind of going south. I think it has to do with greed in the more modern times, what I like to call the holy matrimonial union between feminism and corporations. and they're both trying to make it a three-way. That's what I wrote. Feminism and corporations are trying to make it a three-way with big government. It's we the people, not we the government. But that's what I meant when I wrote that. But these notes I wrote so long ago. As I'm emptying these boxes out, I come across more notes. I'll think about sharing them on here just for the sake of making a video. I can organize my things and my life and my thoughts. And okay, real quick. I know I've read this because I have notations in the back on each of the stories. So I'll just real quick read through. This particular book from 1959, U.S. Armed Air Forces, had 4 stories and 1 article. I'll read the article first. Apparently there's an article that talks in great detail about the negative physical effects of flying an aircraft. I wrote down I only understood about 10%, but still intriguing. So, the first story in this book, an experimental aircraft capable of Mach 3 is showcased over enemy airspace to ensure peace, if only for a little while. It's like reading the plots of like shows and stuff out of the TV Guide when I was a kid. That's probably where I got it, though. Second story. Tale of fighter pilots in dire need, physically and mentally, of rest and relaxation before engaging in and coming out with flying colors. A historical battle on June 6, 1944 at Normandy that helped lessen ground death. Sounds like an intriguing story. I'll have to read it again sometime. Story number 3. Told from the perspective of one, quote, victim, a new World War I ace has a planned confrontation with Baron von Richthofen. Fokker. Fokker is the guy's last name. Fokker D. the 7th. A.K.A. the Red Baron. Fokker is spelled F-O-K-K-E-R. That's brilliant. Oh yeah, it says right down there in the cover too, Fokker. Okay, last story. A fighter jet captain is branded unreliable when an enemy aircraft outmaneuvers his, quote, superior jet. Later it is found the inferior enemy jet in question was in fact a new Russian fighter jet with advanced capabilities and only appeared as the old familiar model. And that does sound like a tactic that Russia would have used back then. But, yeah. Old war comics, they're pretty cool. This one's not in very good condition, that's why I only paid $2 for it. But to be perfectly honest, if this particular book was in good condition, it probably would have been a price I couldn't afford. Alright, there's more, but this video is already too long, so I'll just end with the quote I just learned today from Ronald Reagan. The closest thing to eternal life on Earth is a government program. Mike Paralack, thank you for your time.